Today, on the MWHS Wildcat News.
A look at the library's renovations.
The implementation of different sanitization guidelines. And a recap over last Thursday's football matchup against Elkhorn South. Welcome back. Today is September 4th, and I'm your host, Edison Geiler.
And I'm Jenna Reynolds.
Good morning, Wildcats. The library saw an aesthetic overhaul this summer, with the construction team renewing carpets, chairs, shelves, and production rooms.
However, the library also saw the implementation of Book Dash, its new service that lets students check out books easier. These new renovations and service modifications serve to allow the use of the library's space in a safer way to prevent the spread of COVID-19. News Director Dana Summers and I talked with students and librarians to bring you more details.
After the library remodeling over the summer, it is unfortunate that COVID restrictions now prevent students from being able to use the library in a typical way. Although students can't come in and browse the shelves like normal, library staff have created a new book ordering system called Book Dash.
Well, basically, because we knew we couldn't have kids in the library to check out books and to wander around, we had to figure out a way to get books to them. And so we came up with the idea of doing a Google form and having them request, and then we deliver. The name Book Dash actually came from Mrs. Collins and Mrs. Dark, who were trying to come up with a clever way to come up with it, and they just used the idea of DoorDash and changed it to Book Dash.
After students fill out the Book Dash Google form, the librarians are notified and try to get the book delivered to the student as quickly as possible. If the form is filled out by a remote learner, the book is sent to the attendance office for them to come pick up. Books can then be returned to the library and must be wiped down and sit for 5 days before they go back on the shelves.
I heard about it through the daily announcements. I just opened it up and I was looking to get a book anyways, and then they were like, hey, here's a link, go get your books. The process was really easy. You just had to know what you were looking for. So you typed in the book title and then the author and hit submit and gave your name and QT teacher.
Along with Book Dash, the library has encouraged students to use a system that has previously been put in place called Sora.
So Sora is basically a way that our kids can access audiobooks and ebooks 24/7, 365. And just this year, we have made a connection with Omaha Public Library, so we can also connect all of our kids to every ebook and audiobook in the Omaha Public Library that is young adult or a lower level. So that's really exciting for us to add that this year. We have had this for a while, but I think it's really big now because we have our remote learners.
Library staff have also traveled to classrooms with a book cart, and students have been able to check out reading material on the spot. This makes for 3 ways in total to get books, but the library staff still misses getting to see all of their students in person, especially with all of the new library renovations.
I love the new library. I think it looks great, and I think that once kids are able to come in here, they're really going to love it. We're really looking forward to the time when they can come in. Some kids have walked by and just seen, students have walked by and seen what it looks like, so hopefully everybody's excited to come in and check it out once they're able to.
Although the situation is not ideal, the library staff recognizes that students still need access to books, and they plan on continuing these methods for as long as they are under these restrictions. This has been Jenna Reynolds and Dana Summers with the MWHS Wildcat News.
Before the start of the school year, Millard West implemented new sanitization procedures to combat the spread of COVID-19 throughout the building.
Administrators required students to utilize hand sanitizer dispensers when they enter a different classroom, and teachers to use special sanitizing wipes during passing periods to clean workspaces. These new guidelines are meant to keep the building cleanly and also maintain the health of students and faculty. Staff reporters Madison Brandeis and Marina Del Appa report on the details.
With the new school year starting, every Millard West faculty member is trying their hardest to sanitize as best as they can. With that being said, there are many new cleaning procedures in addition to the ones in the prior years. First, we're taking a look at the new cleaning procedures.
It has changed a lot for us to be wiping all the tables and disinfecting walls and handles and everything. But we have had a lot of chemicals, different kind of chemicals, and then we have 2 of the new, they call them the foggers. That's when we fog the whole room with it disinfecting.
COVID-19 has also affected the lunch staff in many ways. They have to come up with some new procedures. To begin with, the Cat's Den and cafeteria is now only open during breakfast and lunch periods because they are now asking students to go straight to class. They are not open after school either to further prevent groups from gathering in the commons. All lunch is served by them directly and the food is put into individual plastic bags. They are working very hard to continue to sanitize the keypads and the surfaces students touch throughout the day.
I would say the big difference that we're feeling right now is that everything is ever changing, and we are watching through data and also from the health recommendations from the Douglas County Health Department, and they are updating us on the trends, what's happening, what are best practices and recommendations to be carried out in schools in order to keep schools healthy and also stay open. And that's the most important thing we have for our students and staff and our community, is keep our building open.
This school year and others are going to be looking a lot different to the ones in the past. With extra sanitizing and mask wearing, it is very important to us as individuals to do what we can to keep the schools open. This has been Madison Brandis and Mila Delapa with the MWHS Wildcat News.
The football team battled Elkhorn South last Thursday, resulting in a 30-28 defeat.
South's kicker, junior Carson Crouch, kicked a late field goal to win the game. After the game, Sports Director Miguel Paredes-Reyes and Chief Photographer Tenley Wright talked with players and coaches to bring you more details about Thursday night's game.
On Thursday, August 27th, Millard West kicked off the 2020 football season against Elkhorn South.
I just think it was first week jitters, and just overall next week we'll come in more as a team and more focused, and obviously it was a different experience overall. I think that kind of played into it a little bit too.
After the tough loss in week 1, coaches and players are using the game as a learning experience and will focus on improving on their mistakes.
I thought we could have played a little better, but it was a first game. I know offensively we're just trying to clean up what we're doing, make sure we're making the right reads, we're running the right play, we're going to the right spot. But like I said, we did a lot of good things. We need 10 guys, or we had 11 guys that we need on the same page, not 10. So everyone's got to do their job.
Thursday's game will no doubt serve as motivation for the coming weeks.
I thought it was a good team, learning experience. We all got to really bond and get closer with one another. We just need to really fix a lot of the mental errors that we made.
In the first quarter, only 20 total points were scored. However, in the fourth, both offenses exploded and the game went back and forth between the two teams. Millard West overcame a 13-point deficit, capped off by a 53-yard touchdown pass from Jacob Jones to Brant Pickrell. Elkhorn South fought right back, though, and won the game on a Carson Crouch 19-yard field goal.
Good! Elkhorn South gets the lead with 9 seconds to go.
One positive outcome of the game was that it was a chance to see how the team's chemistry impacted their overall performance and how they will continue to grow closer together.
I think the guys know it's get back to work. Chemistry-wise, I think we have a great team, good leaders. So, yes, we were bummed about Thursday, but now it's what we do wrong, how we fix it, and where we're going forward.
The Wildcats will be back in action on Friday when they take on Millard North at Buell Stadium. This has been Tenley Wright and Miguel Paredes-Reyes with the MWHS Wildcat News.
That's all for this week. Make sure to follow us on our social media, visit our website, and watch our previous broadcasts. This has been Edison Geiler
and Jenna Reynolds with the MWHS Wildcat News. We'll see you next week.